Welcome to Take Profits. Today we're going to be talking about the Skuxxverse, which is a NFT drop that was built on top of the NFT Worlds platform, which has a number of features which we will go into in more details. But basically it's an existing platform, and therefore the roadmap and kind of development life cycle should be shorter than building your own metaverse from scratch. I've got my cat jumping in and trying to get involved as ever, so I do apologise for any background noise, but she just wants a cuddle, right? So we can't knock her for that. Anyway, so let's get on to this. So the Skux own the metaverse is the strapline on the website, and the website is the Skuxxverse.com. So Skuxxverse is a unique metaverse project which grants its token holders exclusive access to its custom-built metaverse while simultaneously developing a metaverse portfolio with the community wallet and rewarding holders via world airdrops. So as stated, this is built on top of NFT Worlds, and investors will be receiving airdrops from world tokens, as I believe that the Worlds NFTs that the guys have bought have been staked, which effectively generates a yield. Now, the return profile for that yield is not fast. So this is not going to be a quick fixed income play of generating yield. I think there's potentially, in my opinion, there's potentially better opportunities for that. However, as more players get involved, and sorry, that's at this point in time. However, as more players get involved in this metaverse and the user numbers increase, then potentially what we will see is potentially the world token will increase. And by way of background, my understanding is the NFT World NFTs were actually given away to, it was a free drop, and the price is now, I think the floor price is about 10 ETH. So they've performed incredibly well, and Skuxxverse is building on top of NFT Worlds, which is quite an interesting proposition. So in terms of the roadmap, phase 1, post-mint, 50% minting sales and 50% second sales sent to community wallet used to buy NFT Worlds. So what they're doing is reinvesting the capital that's generated from the sales. Clearly they're still taking the other 50%, right? But they're basically making from the revenue that they're generating, 50% of that is going into buy NFT Worlds. And then the intention is to airdrop 100% of the staking and renting traffic yields to early adopters, gold ticket holders via world airdrops. So effectively, my understanding is that you will receive world airdrops, and I think they're on the Polygon network, if I'm not mistaken. They'll host a beta PvP event for 7K World and consistently update Skuxxverse NFT World based on community requests. So phase 2, the intention is to develop more NFT Worlds to create more community branded real estate and incentivize community gameplay. Monthly token holders, world airdrop to Skuxxverse holders. Phase 3, roll out token color incentive into world challenges and competitions based on the colored token. Personal real estate rolls out, gold equal individual mansion built inside the Skuxxverse. So this is quite an important point. If you've got gold, there's not huge numbers of those, you will get an individual mansion, and blue and red will get an individual townhouse stroke apartment built inside the Skuxxverse. You can purchase more NFT Worlds for the community. The intention is to purchase more NFT Worlds for the community wallet portfolio and monthly token holder world airdrop to Skuxxverse holders. Phase 4, recurring purchases of NFT World for the community wallet portfolio and monthly token holder world airdrop to Skuxxverse holders. So this is the kind of roadmap that they've rolled out. The guys have been actively buying NFT Worlds, so they've got quite a portfolio of those, and we'll come into that in a moment. The team are doxed, so the founder of the business, will go on to who that is in a moment, is Liam, and he's pretty active in terms of the community, and he talks about the process that they're going through. So to move on to the Twitter for Skuxxverse, they've got 8,677 followers. So they have a reasonable number, not a huge number, but a reasonable number. And the most recent tweet, which I was going to come on to in the Discord. So basically, there's a bit of argy-bargy happened last night, which I mentioned in my daily update this morning. So basically, the team have decided to prioritise the build development of Skuxxverse City. This will serve as the hub for all exciting metaverse themes across all NFT world projects, and have portals in and out of Skuxxverse City. The world will include, but not limited to, concerts, bars, nightclubs, IRR in real life retail services, art galleries, sporting events, gold pass utility, libraries and adventure parks, plus much more. This is going to be our busiest metaverse no matter what experience our players choose. Skuxxverse City will be jam-packed with cross-metaverse utility. Oh, and this metaverse will have 4 million staked world, ensuring the highest tier play-to-earn world faucet access. So my understanding is this is basically the process, the highest tier yield that you get from the world token, and to do that you've got to have a certain amount staked. So the reason that this has happened is, I mentioned this in my video that I posted earlier, but basically the developers that Skuxxverse were using for some of their worlds, not for all of them, I might add, have basically exclusively signed up to White Sands. So this has meant that I think Skuxxverse will have a number of worlds that are completed, but they will not be able to develop all of the worlds that they wanted to with this particular dev team. So that's the kind of long and short of it. And Liam came onto the AMA last night with White Sands and was kind of questioning why the guys had done what they'd done, and obviously from their perspective what they were trying to secure as the future of their project. So I think the guys are pals, but it was just a bit awkward. Anyway, so I think that potentially, in Liam's words, that potentially sets their development plans back. But nevertheless, there's other developers out there, so I'm sure they'll find a good team and overcome that hurdle. So that's why I think that potentially Skuxxverse is at a potential inflection point where we might be able to basically get some value in terms of, there's a bit of FUD, but nevertheless the team have bought a significant number of the tokens, of the NFT world. So they've invested a huge amount of money into it. So yeah, it's a process that is moving along, and clearly they have Skuxxverse doing stuff. So they have AMAs, they're active in the community. Liam's got his own YouTube channel. They're actively describing how the system works. Here's his YouTube. They're protected. You have to follow him, and he has to grant access. But nevertheless, again, he's got 559 followers. But he's a founder of a project. So what I wanted to do next was just have a quick look on OpenC. So basically, you've got a number of different types of pass. So you've got red pass, a blue pass, and then there's a limited run of 777 gold passes. So the floor, basically, I personally took the view, so do your own research, not financial advice, etc. I personally took the view that the gold pass was the one to have, so I got one of those, and I'll potentially buy a couple of blues and reds as well. So the floor price on the blues and the reds is 0.281 at the current time, and the golds, I think it's about 1.5. So I'm down on my purchase, but nevertheless, it's a long-term hold. This is not a quick flip if that's the kind of thing that you're looking for, in my opinion. So 1.43 is the current price, and if we look at the activity, I mean, it's clearly a downward trend, and I think I probably got in near the top, right? So that's, just the nature of these things. I was in cash from some other trades, and decided I like the look of this project, and I want exposure to these types of lands and metaverse plays, right? Because we don't know which one of these will be the one that gets vast user adoption. Maybe none of them will, but potentially some of them will. So what we can see is that average prices are, they're kind of curling off a bit. And I think that, in my opinion, there's a potential opportunity to pick some potential value up here. So if it's a project you're interested in exploring, now might be the time to have a look at it. In terms of the sales, there's a decent number. So we've had 12 sales today. We had 55 yesterday. 21 the day before, so it's there's a consistent volume of sales that are occurring. We'll go into Nansen and just look at some of the statistics, and again what we can see here is the average prices are kind of dipping down, and I think there's potential. Personally, I think there's potential value in this project right now, so I'll be looking at picking some more up of the blues and reds, probably not the golds, but the blues and reds. The price range, so we had a bit of significant dip. Maybe that's a bit of an anomaly on the data there on the 26th of March. But pricing, there is a clear differential between average, max, and min. So there's a bit of a spread on it, if we put it that way. Pricing's down 18%, right? So this is what I'm talking about. So I think there's potential to basically pick something up at a bit of a bargain here, right? So yes, they've got a bit of a setback in terms of devs moving on, but fundamentally they will overcome that, right? They will find another dev team and they'll move it forwards. So average prices are down 14%, minimum price is down 80%, maximum price is down 9.5%, floor price is down 11%. So in terms of, if you're looking for opportunities, I think that this is interesting. Okay, so then we've got transactions and buyers. So clearly there's a lot of activity on the 16th of February. That's the kind of golden day, and it's dipped off subsequently. And if we look at the holders, in terms of smart money, there's not a load of Nansens. Oh no, to be fair, there's a decent amount. So you've got 3 smart money minters, 1 smart money early adopter, 2 holders, and 2 traders. So you've got 10 smart money exposure from Nansens, what they perceive to be smart money. So they're experienced traders, etc. So that's always a good indicator. If there's none, that's a bit worrying, but obviously we've got some there. Unique addresses, that number's obviously expanded over time, so that's remaining pretty static. Number 55% are holding only one NFT. Top diamond hand, so we got unknown.eth has got 170 of these. Epic NFT collector's got 112, and then we reduce down from there. The balance of the diamond hands has gone up, so that's a good sign. Probably natural, actually, as people retain this type of project, which we're not buying this for a quick buck, and it clearly is a medium to long term hold. So what I wanted to do now is just switch into the Discord to get a sense of what's going on. So we have spaces frequently in terms of their announcements. And here we see, right, so the Skuxxverse community have 45 NFT worlds, and we'll just have a quick look on OpenC. My understanding is that the NFT worlds, floor price for this is about 10. There we go. So about 10. So as you can see, there's a decent amount of value in the community. So, and what we can see as well is how much world the community wallet has been accumulating. So it's got 148,000 world accumulated. We'll look at the pricing on that in a moment. and they're going to be distributed to holders. So if I'm right, I think that if you're a gold holder in this, I think that you're going to get a decent airdrop from what the rest of the community has accumulated, and there's going to be frequent airdrops. So that's something that's worth considering. I haven't seen an airdrop yet, but I haven't necessarily looked, and I will continue to look. So in terms of the white paper for the project, so there's a detailed white paper here. As we talked about, so originally it was a small decentral land parcel, and then some Skuxxverse has acquired land in the sandbox, and then basically the true concept has been brought into fruition by designing in the NFT Worlds platform. So the 7,777 gold, red and blue, so 10% of those are gold. All passes receive a share of the world. 100% of the world generated across the Skuxxverse ecosystem will be sent back to its pass holders. So there's going to be a distribution. So Q1 goals, fully minted, set up community wallet, scope out DAO, begin token distribution, hire staff and developers, continue purchasing worlds through the community wallet, etc., etc. Q2 goals, fully equipped gameplay experience for initial world rollout, continuing developing worlds through verified world builder, establish partnerships with other projects that fit the ethos of Skuxxverse, community vote on world themes, community vote on potential tenants via the renting mechanism. Q3 goals, continued development of worlds, personal real estate rollouts based on the number of passes and pass types, purchase more NFT worlds, launch full Skuxxverse world experiences for developed worlds, community vote on potential tenants via the renting mechanism. Continued development of worlds in Q4, research brand partnerships, community vote on potential tenants via the renting mechanism. So that is, for me, the white paper is a bit light, and knowing the project, I think that it kind of doesn't go into as much detail as it could. And maybe that's a marketing thing. They make a statement here. So Skuxxverse World will be developed by Stellar Devs Org. So these are the devs, Stellar Dev Org, who basically have been snatched by White Sands. So I think that this does create a bit of a problem, but in a problem comes an opportunity, right? So I think potentially the price will reduce down, and therefore we can potentially pick up a bit of a bargain. On the AMA yesterday, Liam did clearly state that he was already using other developers outside of Stellar, but I do think it is a bit of a setback. But nevertheless, creates a bit of FUD, goes from there. So we go into the world distribution. It's generated through 4 different mechanisms: staking, renting, in-game economy, as well as play to earn. 65% of world generated via staking, 25% will be 65% of world generated via staking, etc., will be distributed to all passes regardless of tier color. 25% of world will be distributed to gold passes regardless of tier. Early adopter program is instituted to give premium value to passes minted within the first 1,000 passes. There are 3 early adoption tiers, etc. 5% will be distributed to passes numbered 1 to 300, and so on and so forth. So that's the distribution model. And then obviously what we can see is how that's broken out. And then you do not have to own a pass to enter Skuxxverse. It's an inclusive project meant to be open and accessible to all people. Owning the pass grants you special access to the Skuxxverse ecosystem, meaning exclusive events and member-only content. In order to actively participate, a player will need to own a copy of Minecraft Java Edition, which I don't, right? So that's something that I need to get resolved. The beauty of this, because it's built on the Minecraft platform, it's playable on PC, Mac, Xbox, PlayStation, iOS and Android. So as opposed to a new metaverse like, for example, Sandbox, where they've got to build everything from scratch. You've got a platform here that already works, right? And you've just got to get people onto it. So I think, the potential, I think there's about 110 to 130 million monthly users on the Minecraft already. So that's a huge number. And if you get, 10% of those coming into this, into NFT worlds, that could be, really interesting. Particularly offering them play to earn, right? And that's kind of where I think people see potential utility and potential upside. So pass utility, gold passes receive mansions and added in-game utility. Red and blue passes receive townhomes. Titles are earned by owning 5 or more Skuxxverse passes. Titles are Lord, Lady, Prince, Princess, and if you own 5 to 9, you get Lord or Lady. Prince, Princess is 10 to 24, and King or Queen is 25 plus. So what I wanted to do was just have a quick look at the NFT world's price, so the world token, which it peaked in 19th of February, 60 cents, and we're currently at, where are we at, 24. So it's about half what it was at an all-time high. But yeah, we can see there's probably a kind of resistance level about where are we, 28 to 30. There's going to be some resistance there. But naturally, as these projects start launching and there's more utility attached to the token, we would expect it to continue. So in terms of the kind of good things and the bad things here, clearly they've got a potential short-term problem with finding devs, right? That is an issue. NFT worlds, anything that's built on top of that, it's good in terms of it potentially accelerates the development of it. However, it's bad in terms of if NFT worlds fails, then the project itself fails underneath it. So you've got an additional risk, which has some advantages as well, but nevertheless, you need to consider that if you are looking at Skuxxverse. So I'll be interested to see their projects roll out and things continue. And I was just going to continue through the some of the announcements as well. So we'll just go through a couple more of those. So they've decided to prioritise the build and development of the Skuxxverse city, which will serve as the hub. So yeah, it's quite an interesting proposition, and I hope that my narrative and overview of the Skuxxverse project was useful for you, and I welcome any feedback which you may have. And yeah, looking forward to your thoughts and feedback on this video. Please like and subscribe, and yeah, you get free daily updates and narrative on the NFT marketplace along with project reviews. Remember, do your own research, and nothing contained within this video is financial advice for educational content only.